Hello, everybody. It's April 10th, 2025. Potentially a historic day in pinball. We're here at Pintastic New England, the pinball show that innovates. We've been supporting homebrew pinball games since our very first show 10 years ago. And we are a full-featured pinball show. This is just one part of our seminar program, and we will have more coverage of homebrew pinball later on in this weekend. And you can also plan on more coverage next year for our dates of April 9th to 12th, 2026. What we have here is a seemingly impossible game to build. The Pinball Circus Homebrew, done by the gentleman you see there, John Manuelian, a.k.a. Lynn, who built it by himself, where whole teams were apparently not able to accomplish as much. Now, Lynn,
yes,
you usually do original designs. You've done so many homebrew games that are original. What made you decide you wanted to do a redo of somebody else's design?
a couple of reasons. First reason, I wanted to challenge myself. Basically, I treated this like the boss of a level. Can I defeat the boss and make it? Really that. Secondly, I wanted one. And thirdly, people should be able to play the game. So if I'm able to bring it around, which it's an uphill battle sometimes to get it around, but I want the public to be able to play the game. It's a cool game.
And speaking of the challenges, what would you say are the biggest challenges that you faced, and do you think those were challenges that defeated other teams in their attempts to build it?
The biggest challenges. I'm not sure what the biggest challenge was. There's really just a lot of little challenges along the way, like making sure things fit, making sure things kind of stayed where they needed to. Well, actually, no. The biggest challenge was the wire form in the middle. That big swirly wire form and all that. That, with at least how I ended up making it, I don't think it's manufacturable. But when you're making it all by hand all at once, you can kind of Mickey Mouse things and get it working right. Definitely would need to be split up into multiple parts if you wanted to make more than one.
Well, yeah, since you bring that up, I presume that for a suitable fee, you would assist a manufacturer if they wanted to take it into production. I mean, you've designed all the specialized parts and you've done all the coding. Well, not all the coding, more coding to come, but
yeah, there's still a lot of code to go. I mean, I'll help. I don't mind chatting. There's lots of different moving parts in that, no pun intended, but I don't mind chatting with people and helping. So.
So tell us a little bit about how you've done the rules differently, extensions, or what you've...
All right, well, when I was working on this game, this game took me last summer, so 4.5 months to make it, soup to nuts, zero to this. And as I was going through it and finding all the images, first I spent about a month before that actually doing some due diligence, seeing if I could actually do it, collecting images, scouring the web for whatever I could find. And once I started building it up, I was kind of playing it with my eyes, and I'm like, this doesn't feel kind of right, or this seems kind of weird with where the flippers are, so I redesigned a lot of flow and lots of little pieces to it, just by my own feeling. So most of it is what one would think of as Pinball Circus. Like the 3 play fields are largely the same because they were cool and there's nothing wrong with it. The main play field, I made it so you could do orbits on both sides. I added a lift ramp because why not add more things? I added an 8th flipper because why not add more things? And actually that 8th flipper I put in specifically to kind of screw you over on the left side. The original game, it only had 1 flipper on the left side and no out lane. So there was no way to really drain. So now with having kind of a double flipper over there, you can very easily drain on that side or by the ball going scissored or whatever. And that was the kind of the purpose of that, to screw you over, not really to help you. So those were the little tweaks I made. I also wanted to make it so it had multi-ball. So this now has a regular Williams trough in it, so I can have up to 4-ball multi-ball in this game. And that is very interesting to play, especially some of the multi-balls I had planned. you need to kind of get things on different play fields all at the same time, and juggling that is definitely a circus. So to speak.
How about anything purely in the rules and the scoring or the objectives?
So a lot.
Steps.
So many of the objectives, like I've never played the game myself. I've never been to Vegas. I've never played the one that you can play. So the only things I could do is look at YouTube videos of people who played it, or look at the little instruction cards that it had in the on the skirt. So I took a lot of those and I incorporated as much as I could that made sense with some of my new design, and I've added more on top of that. So there's still like the gold ball mode. You still have can complete the giraffe, the second play field on the side there to get up to the top, kind of like what the original game wanted. And you still have wheels that spin, but instead of having a physical wheel, I have a screen now, so I can have multiple wheels depending on what's selected, what you have acquired and things. So there's a lot of the same, but there's a bunch of just additions just because I can.
And price was no object. You weren't trying to stay within a particular bomb cost.
No, I was just, well, I mean, some of the bomb cost is going to be cheaper because I don't have some physical things, but other bomb costs are going to be higher because, so it's give and take with what you add and what you remove. And one big change that I made.
Line up for questions.
Oh, yeah, you line up for questions if you have questions. One big change I made, you'll notice I don't have the elephant on there. I do plan on making a little elephant toy, but with multi-ball, there's going to be lots of ball hang-ups and problems with that whole elephant mech. And to fix that would be out of the scope of what I wanted to deal with. So I just put a ramp there, which is a lot of fun, and I'll eventually have a little elephant there just for incidental animations and movement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Dave, your question?
Yeah, David, the Classic Pinball Podcast. So that game, I played a Pinball Circus at Allentown a couple years ago. Really fun game. Again, not quite finished, but was fun. And it's a Python Anghelo game. So this one here again, I don't know if you must have said something, I didn't quite get it though. How did you actually acquire the cabinet and what you had already? How did you actually get that?
I designed the cabinet in SolidWorks and I built it by hand.
Wow. Okay. So this is all you.
All me, yeah. All the play fields I designed and I made changes. So I have a CNC machine, I have a vacuum forming machine, I have a whole bunch of fabrication tools. So once I cut them, there's a sign shop nearby that has a flatbed printer. I brought it to them to just do a direct print right on the thing, so it really looks nice. And all the artwork I had to recreate pixel by pixel based on blurry pictures that I could get off of things. So yeah, it was all me.
So you've played this game before? You have not played?
No, I've never. Well, I play it now. I've never played it beforehand.
Okay,
no.
Okay. So you're just going off what you saw online. Wow, that's impressive. Well done. Can't wait to try it.
Yeah.
Well, you get your opportunity over the course of the weekend. We'll be in our custom game room. Okay, so and this was 4.5 months of build time.
4.5 months of build time and about. Yeah. I'm a loony.
Do you have a day job?
Yeah.
Okay. See.
Yeah. I
4.5 months of spare time.
Yeah, and I have a family, so my spare time. Yeah. I'm a game developer. Well, a video game, mobile. Yeah.
Question here, Derek.
Have you contacted anybody who maybe at Planetary Pinball or anybody that worked at Capcom back in the day that retired back in the day, but they did work on that game?
Nope. This was all.
Okay. No contact with Laughlin, who had all the.
No. It was all what I found online and what I could infer and what kind of fit. Like the nice thing with pinball is once you start building something, especially if you're trying to remake something, everything kind of has its place. So I couldn't take a play field and move it to the right a little bit more because then it wouldn't line up with what's underneath it, so to speak. And since this is already there, I saw pictures. I knew that like the elephant playfield needed to be on the left side and a little bit to the front. So how does that line up? If I look straight down, that looks a little bit like what I see online. That's close enough. And hey, there's spots where I can drill the hole. So great. So there was a lot of that, and so there's definitely going to be differences. It's all for my own work, but it came out pretty good, I think, and it plays pretty well.
How much more do you expect to do on the rules?
I have a lot more rules to put in. there is. I have plans for multi-balls. I didn't get them added in yet. Maybe they'll appear magically through an update this weekend. I have wizard modes planned. I have additional multi-balls. Like I have a Python multi-ball I want to add in, and Python wheels and things. Because no, the original Pinball Circus had this Python toy in the middle, and I've heard various degrees of, oh, it never worked, oh, it was cool, or it didn't, and I just didn't want to try to add that thing. So instead, if you look closely at my game, on the left slingshot, I used I don't know, what was it? A Hobbit, one of the Hobbit slingshots thing, and then we put a Python head on that, so it kind of bites the ball when it hits the slingshot. So it's kind of there, but instead you'll have a more traditional flipper layout instead of like a weird offset or something.
Hey, George, question?
Could this game be produced commercially? And the second part of the question is, who owns the IP?
Well, I don't own the IP, so I'm not producing it commercially. I made this one and done. I'm happy with it. I'll just keep working on it. Williams and Planetary Pinball still own the IP, so it would be up to them.
Yeah, in fact, Nap Arcade recently reported that Planetary took steps to lock down the trademark on the name. So I think it was because they heard about this, and so they wanted to make sure that whatever relationship or future development might happen, that they got their role properly defined for it. Would you say that's you think that's
probably
a fair idea of what they're not looking to prevent this from ever being built by anybody, as far as
right. You just can't have a floating IP that any hobo off the street can just build one. That's like not great.
Yeah, Brian, you have a question?
What are you using for code and electronics to drive it?
I'm using a $120 cheap single board computer to run the thing. It's probably the equivalent of, I want to say, like somewhere around an Xbox or a PS2 type of thing. I'm running it off of Unity 6 as far as software, so it's C# and everything. It's the same engines I use on all my other augmented games and whatnot, and is being driven by the fast hardware.
And how many games have you done?
That are playable or that I've done?
How many games? How many games have you designed and brought to some level of physical realization?
Okay. Well, this is, to be able to play right now, this is number 6 that you have. Well, technically number 5, Luau's number 6. But anyways, this is the 6th one. And so and they're all in a lineup in the Homebrew. Well, this is going in there too. They're all being the Homebrew that everybody can play. And except for this one, all the other ones are going to be at the Electromagnetic Pinball Museum in Pawtucket. They're always open for people to play them on location. And as far as what I've designed, I don't know, a dozen plus. I have a lot of playfields I haven't finished up. Or like I had a Tail of the Dragon playfield once years ago, which I had to use the cabinet for another game. But eventually I'll put it back in the cabinet. So I have a lot of things going on.
And so how do you feel about this? When you get all your rules in, do you think it'll be something that would be a dedicated pinball player would enjoy it for year after year?
Well,
There's got a lot
so.
of longevity in it.
Like again, one of the things I've heard, and again I haven't played the original, but it's a one-trick pony, or you get to the top and that's it, or it's fun to see. So I wanted to add more pinball-y rules into this. I wanted to make it feel like there are more things to do than just get to the top. Maybe I need to complete this ring or this mode or get into the wheel or something else. That's why I added the multi-balls. That's why I have a more formal wizard mode with goals to get to the wizard mode. There's always the need to climb, but you don't always have to climb. Like, for instance, one of the multi-balls only takes place, or will only take place on the main playfield. Another multi-ball will only take place on the mini playfields, and if you stack them, then you have other things going on, right? So I'm trying to make your risk rewards and the things that everybody kind of likes, or if you're just a casual player, you go up and you see, ooh, this is neat, type of scenario, right?
Yeah, I definitely had that experience playing the original. That being at a show with a lot of other people, I didn't get that many games on it, but I was able to get up to the top level. So I had that sense during my first hour of playing it. So you need something more than that for it.
Yeah, I'd love to make it so people want to play competitively on it. That would be really cool. I play competitively myself. It'll be difficult, but I think it would be kind of neat if I can get that working. So, but first I need to get the rules in before balancing to make that a possibility.
Mm-hmm. More questions? You can wrap this up if there are no more questions. So run over there. Okay. And it will be in the homebrew room here at Pintastic New England, as you said, for the rest of the weekend with occasional code updates potentially.
Yeah, occasionally. I mean, I always update my games during shows because I'm that kind of crazy. And since this one didn't get a code update since October, and there are definitely some things I kind of wanted to add. Well, it's here. I might as well add them.
Okay, Dave.
Did you ever reach out to any of the original designers or people that were involved with the original Pinball Circus?
Nope.
Nothing like that. Never.
Nope. I kept this completely secret, private throughout the whole development time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like surprising people,
Okay.
both good and bad.
And how close do you think until you're be a complete finished product? Do you think?
Well, it depends on how much time I put into this compared to my other games. Like I need to kind of serialize or thread my time between multiple projects. So I don't know. Like since I'm able to have this at this show, I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring it to other shows in the future. It's kind of a touchy-feely thing to see if I can do it. The more shows I can start bringing it to, the more I'll have the desire to add more. Otherwise, if it's just sitting in my shop over in my little arcade area, I'll look at it. Oh, this is neat. But I won't necessarily add more. I'll work more on the ones that I'm actually showing.
Well, if I may, I'd like to invert his question and say, of the 6 games you have here, are there any where you say, I'm not going to change the code? The code's done.
Almost Luau. Almost
Really?
Luau. But
That's the newest one.
But it's also a 60s EM style thing, so there's not a lot going on. And yesterday I pushed 8 code updates to it. So.
All right. Do you plan on calling it Pinball Circus when you're done, or Pinball Circus Reimagined, or what do you?
At Lynn's Pinball Circus Homebrew, something like that. Like it's, I wanted Pinball Circus, so I want to have that in there somewhere. You know.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
And I love Python's art. I respect him a lot as an artist, so I want to make sure his art's on there. So calling it something different completely would be, I don't know, I wouldn't feel right about that.
Yeah, I think there's another Williams artist that did part of it, but probably Python on the sculpts.
Probably, yeah. But either way, I wouldn't feel right at naming it something different if it has art from the original.
All right.
Any other questions?
For those watching remotely, we going to have it all weekend right here at Pintastic New England. Come to Massachusetts, exit 63B off I-495, and you're right there. You can come and play it yourself. So thanks to Lynn, and thanks to Jillian Hafner and our audiovisual team. This is less than 24 hours since we got the necessary permissions to do this.
I was about to fall asleep when I got a text, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yep. Thank you.